Oh, Simsters, let me know if you can hear me since this is our first broadcast in the new chat room. I want to make sure that it's working and all that. Brian hears me. Hi, Brian. Pete hears me. Hi, Pete. I was supposed to meet Pete Bella and a couple other Simsters at the track tomorrow, but then they closed the track. It was a very sad day. It's been a very sad winter. All right, well, glad to know that this works. Hello to everybody. Happy to, or welcome you to week 7 Friday. Um, as I saw a few people in the chat room talking about just a moment ago, this is, as far as we can tell, the biggest Baltimore Crown field that there has ever been. I honestly can't remember a better Baltimore Crown field. It just, I don't know. Like, is it a product of people not respecting the king as a Derby winner, or is it just there's so many good horses and they're all beating each other? I don't know. But we'll get to that race in a little bit. Um, so, first up, we do have 4 races tonight. First up in 5 minutes is the Baltimore Distaff. This drew a field of 6. Number 1 on the rail is Daydream Look for Laura Ferguson. This is a stewardbred that cost her $10 million. That's a lot of the dollars. I am just now noticing that Laura ran this horse in back-to-back Valentine handicaps because apparently we have 2 of them. So I'll probably go fix that after this. Um, this filly did win the first Valentine handicap. That's a grade 2 back in week 2. She's 8 for 16 lifetime with 5 second place finishes, so she's either first, second, or nowhere. She's just $500 away from being a millionaire. Probably likely that she'll get to that benchmark today. She did run the highest speed figure of her whole career just 3 starts ago, so she's clearly still good to go. Number 2, Walks with Ghosts for Louise Bayou. This is a $3.4 million stewardbred by Doctor out of a sword mare, 4 for 12 lifetime. She's been top 3 in 10 of her 12 starts, coming off of an allowance win, which I think is an interesting thing for her, but I also thought that was kind of perfect. She needed a race. She hadn't run in 4 weeks. She hadn't won in a while. She's clearly a stakes horse, but allowance company seems to be where she fits best as of late. Sorry, my nose is still stuffed up. I know last week it was stuffed up, but here we are. Number 3 is Back to Base for Sophia Stevenson. This is a 5-year-old mare by Look I Am Scary. This is a sprinter. She's in here to pick up a check. She is not going to win, and she is 1 for 14 lifetime. Number 4 is Topaz for Izzy Rafferty. This is a homebred by Heart of the Storm out of Izzy's very nice mare Ricochets. This filly is 8 for 11 lifetime with a third. With a good performance today, she could edge much closer to $1 million. She's about 140,000 short right now. She's coming off a 4th place effort in the attracting handicap. Weirdly enough, a bunch of those horses she was running against that day are running against each other in a different race, not here. I think that's interesting. Before that, she won the Sunny Sky Distaff. And last year, she actually won 6 in a row. Number 5 is Sherbert Lemon for Nick Gilmore. This is a daughter of Doctor out of a salute mare, 3 for 10 lifetime. Coming off of a 9th place effort in listed company, like that other horse, she's in here to pick up a check. Pretty weird how we have the best Baltimore Crown field we've ever had and maybe the worst Baltimore Distaff field we've ever had. I don't really get it, but okay. Number 6, rounding out the field, is Sartorial for Dan Gordon. This is one of those horses leased from Elise Peverell, coming off of a 3rd place effort in a non-winners of 3, 2 for 11 lifetime. So really, we've got the 2 horses in here, Daydream Look versus Topaz. The rest are going to be much longer odds. 2 minutes of post. Please get your bets in for the pick 4, pick 6, daily double, and this race, obviously. Post time, 2 minutes. About 1 minute left to go. This is a field of 6. Next up after this, we have a field of 6 in the Baltimore Special, then 8 in the Baltimore Oaks, and 16 in the Baltimore Crown because entries are weird. All the races tonight, save for this one, are 1 mile and 3/16. This one's only 1 mile and 1/16. And it's possible that my dog is eating his bag of food that I have not yet dumped into the container. Well, we're just going to let him do that while we call this. It is post time for the Baltimore Distaff, a field of 6 going 1 mile and a 16th. Betting pool closes at $5,900. Yeah, I probably wouldn't bet on this one either, so I don't blame you guys. Pick 6, pick 4, and daily double are all closed. They're in the gate. And they're off. Daydream Look was 1 step slow, so was Topaz. Back to Base was a bad breaker, and so it was a terrible start for 3 of the 5 runners. Walks with Ghosts and Sherbert Lemon, but now Daydream Look has hustled up to the lead, and Topaz walks with Ghosts as they go into that clubhouse turn. Here's Sherbert Lemon 4th, Back to Base 5th, and Sartorial is the early trailer of the 6. So it is Daydream Look who takes them along. She's the favorite over Topaz, who's second. Walks with Ghost 3 wide third, then comes Sherbert Lemon. Back to Base is 3 lengths back, fifth, and then comes Sartorial right alongside. So it is Daydream Look leading by a length. Walks with Ghost is up ahead of Topaz. Those two have 6 lengths on Sherbert Lemon in fourth. Another 6 lengths back to Sartorial, and Back to Base is dropped back last. Coming to the half-mile pole, and it is Daydream Look. Walks with Ghost, and now Topaz gets a bit closer. Daydream Look and Topaz, those two are going to kick clear. Walks with Ghost tries to stick with them, though. Walks with Ghost running very well. Sherbert Lemon, then Sartorial, and Back to Base is dropped back 10 lengths behind them. It is Daydream Look with 3/16 to go. Topaz trying to get past her. Walks with Ghost still right there, very game. Then Sherbert Lemon 3 back and Sartorial. Daydream Look, she led them start to finish, and Daydream Look is going to win the Baltimore Distaff. Topaz going to be second, Walks with Ghost right there at third, then Sherbert Lemon and Sartorial. The official winner is Daydream Look. She's a 5-year-old bay mare by James Dean, out of style by Doctor. She was bred by the steward and is owned by Laura Ferguson. Her companion cat is named Taylor. 9 for 17 lifetime, and she is over the $1 million mark, and that was the Baltimore Distaff. Next up, we have the Baltimore Special. The Special is a field of 6. It's a little bit of a better race. Number 1 is one of the better horses that nobody knows, and that is City Ablaze. This is a homebred for Emily Mitchell, son of James Dean. He is a 5-year-old. He's only won 3 of 15 starts, but he's earned over $500,000. He has 90. His highest speed figure ever was a 90. That came in the Midsummer Classic 2 years ago, where he was beaten only a length and a half by the People's Horse and Hear You Me, both of whom you've heard about before. City Ablaze was third in the Arcadia Million last out. He was beaten only a length and a half there, too. He's always right there against some of the best horses in the game. Other horses that beat him, Gladiator, I'll let you know. Some Superhero, more, I'll let you know. So he's a nice, decent sort. Number 2 is Don't You Remember for Pete Vella. This is a son of Super out of the Rambling Mare, Adele. 8 for 12 lifetime with 4 second-place efforts. This one, that means for those mathematically challenged, is either first or second every time. Another good runner, too, and this one will be over $1 million in earnings, coming off of a second-place effort in the Born the Best Stakes. Before that, won the Sunny Sky Classic. This one was second in the Queen's Derby last year and is a multiple Grade 2 winner. Number 3 is Saint Maker for Mark Pavlik. This is a 4-year-old son of Anointed. This is a homebred, 2 for 13 lifetime. Coming off of a 5th place finish in that Born the Best. Last win did come week 5 of year 51, so it's been over a year since this one won. Number 4 is Brat's Mushroom for Danny Derby. This is a homebred by Wishing Falsely out of the AP Sidewinder mare, Immortal in Death. You may remember Immortal in Death because she is the dam of such champions as Ebola in Death and Thunder in Death. This guy's unraced. He's in here just because Danny thought it'd be funny to make me say that over and over. I'm not that thrilled about it, but there you go. Number 5, making a name for Lucas Davenport, a $4.2 million purchase by You Are Not Alone, coming off of a second place effort in the Diego Stakes, which is a grade 1. Before that, won the Comparison Stakes, 7 for 25 lifetime, has been on the board in 18 of those starts. Rounding out the field is number 6, Mr. White Sox for Jack Meyer. This is the 5-year-old son of Skyfall. This one's by After the Disco. Coming off of a second place finish in the Arcadia Million, which he did win last year. 7 for 18 lifetime and has been on the board in 15 of those 18 starts. He's earned $3.7 million. He's your big favorite here today. Not a lot of bad things you can say about this guy. He does prefer a mile and a quarter, but he did win a mile and eighth grade 1-2 back. So, yeah, that's the story of Mr. White Sox, and he rounds out the field. 5 minutes to post, and we're going to do some contest questions before then. I'm going to type them, so the audio is going to go mute for a bit. Brandon Schultz is our first winner with How to Train Your Dragon. I have a guest over who has never seen it. This is maybe my 30th or 31st time seeing it, including 20 times in the last 2 months. But yeah, that's what's on in the background. I just assumed that you guys can hear it. Gonna make a note that Brandon gets some game points. All right, I'm gonna do one more question before post time. Check the chat room. Hope you guys like this new chat room. I think it's working out. Eric Ham does win the second contest, which was for 15,000 game points. I took them to get ice cream because my little boy got in the car and he said, "Mommy, I had a really bad day." And I said, "Why did you have a really bad day, baby?" And he said, "Because the other kids kept telling me to go away." And heaven knows we've all had that day. 1 minute to post for the Baltimore. Only $4,000. Come on, let's get it to 10. All right, it is post time for the Baltimore Special, a field of six going a mile and 3/16 for $750,000. They're in the gate. They're off in the Baltimore Special. City Ablaze was one step slow. Don't You Remember goes out to the lead, and no one wants to go with that one early. It is Don't You Remember, then comes Making a Name and Saint Maker. City Ablaze after the bad break, then Brat's Mushroom, and Mr. White Sox takes up the rear. So it is Don't You Remember leading him under the wire the first time. Don't You Remember is very happy out here on the lead. Then comes Making a Name, Saint Maker. Two back to City Ablaze, then Brat's Mushroom, and Mr. White Sox is 6 lengths off the pace. It is Don't You Remember who takes him to the backstretch, and he leads by almost two. Making a Name and Saint Makers alongside. City Ablaze has dropped back 5 behind that group. Then comes Brat's Mushroom, and Mr. White Sox would have 8 to make up. The pace is good, though, because it's Don't You Remember who leads them, leading by 2 over Making a Name and Saint Maker. Then comes City Ablaze, Brat's Mushroom, and Mr. White Sox starts to move now. Mr. White Sox passes Brat's Mushroom, and Mr. White Sox is coming on. It's Don't You Remember leading him to the top of the stretch, Making a Name and City Ablaze, but now Mr. White Sox has made his move, and Mr. White Sox is rolling past him. Don't You Remember is going to try and hold him off. City Ablaze, Making a Name, and Saint Maker, but Mr. White Sox is driving clear past them all, and Mr. White Sox is opening up now. Mr. White Sox is going to win the Baltimore Special by 3. Don't You Remember is going to be second, then comes City Ablaze and Making a Name. The official winner is Mr. White Sox. He's a 5-year-old black horse by After the Disco out of Skyfall by Messiah. He is owned by Jack Meyer, and this is his 8th win in 19 starts. And I'm pretty sure he goes over $4 million in earnings now. He has a companion cat named Mr. Jingles. Mr. White Sox is named after my cat Nicholas, who is... He was on the table a moment ago. Cats are not allowed on the table at my house. He does not seem to care about that rule. Oh, apparently we have the Baltimore Oaks in 2 minutes, and it's a big field, so I definitely failed that whole thing. Number 1 on the rail in the Baltimore Oaks is Forevermore. Todd Lucas owns this one. She was a $2.5 million purchase by Gryffindor. Comes from a very nice female family. The only race she ever won was her first start. That was a non-winner to 2 lifetime, but she has been second or third in 3 stakes races. Number 2 is Venice for Chris Bobby. This is a homebred of nice female family. This one's by Alonsi out of Vesper. Venice coming off of a 6th place finish in the Louisville Oaks last week. 2 for 6 lifetime. Her last win was week 16 in the Gold Star. Number 3 is You Make Me Happy for Mike Eaton. This is a homebred by Happy This Way. 4 for 5 lifetime. Mike Eaton was going to run in the Louisville Oaks, but this filly hates wet, I think it is, and so he opted to run here. Either that or she loves wet and he opted to run here because this one's wet. I don't know. One of those things. You Make Me Happy coming off of a victory in the New Orleans Oaks. She also comes from a nice female family. Number 4 is Great. Great is an Eric Nalbone homebred by Hold Above out of the Just Victory mare, Just Spectacular. 3 for 4 lifetime. The only time she ever lost was a head behind You Make Me Happy in that New Orleans Oaks. She ran through her conditions before that, a maiden, a non-winners of 2, and a non-winners of 3. Obviously going to be a nice filly one day. It'll be interesting to see if she can get past You Make Me Happy with the stakes experience. Number 5 is Magic for Nina Olson. Well-bred filly by Heart of the Storm out of the Harry Potter mare Enchantment. This filly is undefeated and has won 4 in a row, including the Grade 3 Royalty Stakes. Number 6 is Happy to Love You for Pete Vella. I do believe I pitched a massive fit at Pete when this royally bred filly was not in the Louisville Oaks. Coming off of a win in the Glory Stakes, that was week 5, and that is a Grade 1. This filly has won 4 in a row. Number 7 is Hakuja for Laura Ferguson. This is a $12 million purchase by You Are Not Alone out of Bare Necessities, which makes her a half to the People's Horse. She's never been worse than third, coming off of a second place finish by a nose in that Glory Stakes. Before that, she defeated the boys in the Alberta Derby. Rounding out the field is number 8, Made to Be Mine. Lori Hamill owns this one, a $5.3 million purchase. She's 3 for 5 lifetime. This is a Daughter of Man of Mystery out of one of my very nice Messiah mares. That's your field for the Baltimore Oaks. I'll give you 1 minute to bet, and then it's post time. It is post time for the Baltimore Oaks. 3-year-old fillies going a mile and 3/16 for $500,000. They are in the gate. And they're off. Great stumbled at the start. Happy to Love You goes right out to the lead, joined by Magic, and then comes Great after the bad beginning. Made to Be Mine is hustled up from the outside, and You Make Me Happy. Then comes Venice Forevermore, and Hakuja is at the back of the pack. So it is Happy to Love You dueling with Magic early, and Great settles in third behind them. Made to Be Mine alongside, then comes You Make Me Happy. Venice is 6th, Forevermore 7th, and Hakuja, but it is a very compact field, 4 lengths front to back. It is Happy to Love You leading by a length over Magic. That one's now stretching out, got 3 lengths on Made to Be Mine. Great has dropped back to be 4th, 5 lengths to You Make Me Happy. Then comes Venice, Forevermore, and Hakuja. No change in order yet. It is Happy to Love You, then Magic. Made to Be Mine and Great. Then comes You Make Me Happy and Venice. Forevermore, Hakuja rounds out the field, and they're coming to the half-mile pole. Happy to Love You needs to get going because here come the closers. Made to Be Mine. Great is putting in a bid. Magic is dropping out. You Make Me Happy, Venice, Forevermore, and Hakuja will need to do better. They've come to the top of the stretch, and it is Happy to Love You now swallowed up. Made to Be Mine. You Make Me Happy, Great, and Venice. Happy to Love You is done. It is Made to Be Mine. You Make Me Happy alongside, then Great third and Venice. Made to Be Mine and You Make Me Happy. You Make Me Happy doing the better of the two, and You Make Me Happy is going to dart under the line. You Make Me Happy wins. Made to Be Mine second, Great was third, then Venice, and Happy to Love You. The official winner is You Make Me Happy. She's a 3-year-old bay filly by Happy This Way out of Tight Little Skirt by James Dean. She's a homebred for Mike Eaton, and this is her 5th win in 6 starts. Next up is the big one of the night, and this is the Baltimore Crown, a field of 16 going a mile and 3/16 for $2 million. We have 12 minutes to post. Obviously, the horse in here that we're all watching is number 8, The King. This is your Derby winner. We'll get to him in a moment. These are the upsetters, or the ones that have an upset chance. That's what I meant. Okay, on the rail, number 1 is Night Watch. J.R. Lewis leased this one from Elise Paverell. This is a 3-year-old son of James Dean out of an Ants Marching mare. 4 for 6 lifetime with 2 second-place finishes. This guy's coming off of 2 straight wins, including the Grade 1 Puerto Rican Derby. Number 2 is Combust into Fire. Louise Bayou owns this one, bred by me. This is a son of Calumet out of the URIM mare, UR Special. This guy only cost $500,000. He has never been worse than third. Number 3 is Courage, originally a $9.7 million purchase by Elise. Keith Maidlow now owns this one after leasing him at the beginning of this year. This guy was 11th in the Louisville Derby, but before that he had won 2 major races in a row. He lost the Stewards Cup Juvenile last year by a nose. Number 4 is Land of Dance for Richard Diamond. Danny Derby actually bred this guy and sold him. He's a son of Outlander, and this guy's been amazing. He's won 5 of 6 starts, coming off of a win in the Grade 3 St. Louis Derby. Number 5 is Thanos, who was second by a neck in the Derby. Trying to do better here for Danny Derby. This guy's a son of Happy This Way out of a Doctor mare, so obviously the distance is going to be right up his alley. Before the Derby, he won the New Orleans Derby. Number 6 is Lazy Dog for Pete Vella. This is a son of James Dean out of a Man of Mystery mare. I don't know what you do with this horse after this race. Does this horse go to the Long Island Classic? I mean, win, lose, or draw here. Or does he go back to the mile and a quarter of the Queen's Derby? This guy was fifth in the Louisville Derby. He'd won the Grade 1 Hot Springs Derby before then. 4 for 6 lifetime, highest lifetime speed figure is a 98. Number 7 is Titan Redeemer. Kind of the same question for this guy. He was 10th in the Derby. Before that, he was second in the Hot Springs Derby. He's a son of Hold Above out of a Be Prepared mare, so probably the mile and a half would be the right choice for him. 3 for 6 lifetime, Allie Hedgestone is the trainer. Number 8 is your Derby winner, and that is The King. He's a homebred for Rebecca Rose Hepburn, a son of Iron Spirit, out of an Anointed mare. He has won 5 of 6 starts, and I was joking with someone that Rebecca Rose Hepburn may kind of back her way into a Derby victory. This guy was on the lead in the Derby. He ended up kind of not being challenged. This race is even shorter, so if he can hold on to the lead in this one, he's actually bred for the mile and a half. Can she back her way into a Triple Crown win? That would be pretty funny and pretty popular. Number 9 is Colossal We Come, another Pete Vella one. This guy is by Circle of Life out of a Doctor mare. Might be a little bit better suited for the distance here today. A $1.1 million purchase. His first loss in his career was that Louisville Derby, and he ran horribly. He had been unbeaten leading into that, and he ran 19th of 20 in Louisville. Number 10 is the last of the Pete Vella runners, and that is Guardian Bravo, a steward bred by Ready Freddy. This guy is 2 for 5 lifetime. He was actually 8th in the Derby, which was pretty good, considering he was not one of the choices. Before that, he was second by a nose in the Sunshine Park Derby. Last year, he won the Trial by Summer Sales graduate. Number 11 is your Stewards Cup Juvenile winner from last year, and that is Merlin. Elise Peverell leased him out to Randall Johnson. This is a son of Doctor, so distance will be the bomb. 4 for 6 lifetime. This guy did win the Grade 1 Kentucky Blue 2 back, but was 9th of 20 in the Derby. Number 12 is Dancer for Danny Derby. This is a son of Conqueror out of Skyfall. He cost $5.5 million. 3 for 6 lifetime, was 15th in the Derby. He only had one prep, that was the Alpha Stakes, but he did win it by 4. Number 13, A Million Dreams. This guy goes for Black Type LLC. He's a son of Heart of the Storm out of a Vortex mare. Was 13th in the Derby. Before that, had won 2 in a row in California. Last year was 5th in the Stewards Cup Juvenile. Number 14 is Giant. I do know that Giant is going to the Long Island Classic. He and the King are the only 2 horses I've had confirmed to me that they're going there and not the Queen's Derby. Giant was 7th in the Louisville Derby. Before that, he had won 4 in a row, including the Grade 1 Sunshine Park Derby. 4 for 6 lifetime. This is the brother to Conqueror and Farseer and all those horses. Number 15 is Carthay Circle for Danny Derby. This is the homebred son of Conqueror out of Let It Go. He was 6th in the Derby, which is a pretty good effort considering the top 8 were like 2 lengths apart. Before that, this guy won the Rivalry. He's 3 for 6 lifetime, has only been off the board once, and that was the Derby. Rounding out the field all the way on the outside is number 16, Story Unchanged. This is Carl Smythe's homebred. I kind of bullied Carl into running him in the Derby because he wanted to go week 4 and then week 7 and then week 10, and I was like, yeah, you won a major Derby prep and this horse ran a 100 speed figure, you kind of have to run in the Derby. He ran 3rd that day. He was only beaten 2 next. Can he make amends here? This is a son of We Never Change. He's never been worse than 3rd. Hey, that's your field for the Baltimore Crown. 6 minutes to post, which means that I'm going to switch over to the chat and see, like, who do you guys like? What do we like here? What do we think is going to happen? Allie Hedgestone wins the first contest question of this race with cats. My socks are black, and they have black and white tuxedo cats on them. And they're amazing. Second question coming right up. Keep in mind that, as usual, all game points were donated by Chris Bobby, one of the great humans on the planet. Angela Chase, good job saying justify. I threw a random real life question in there. Man, I'm so excited. As soon as this race call is over, I'm going to put my kids in bed. And then I'm going to have like 2 whole hours with no kids. It's going to be great. I mean, they'll be in the property, they'll be on the premises, but they'll probably be sleeping. They have stuffed How to Train Your Dragon dragons that they got last week. And they're literally running around the house, not watching the movie, but having their dragons do battles. Really, I can't fault them for that. I kind of wish I had a dragon doing battle right now. 3 minutes to post. I'm going to do one more contest question. Don't forget to join us 2 weeks from now for the final leg of the American Triple Crown. I'll try and do the Emotonian, but no promises because I do a parent group thing on Wednesday nights, which I know is not convenient for the sim, but sometimes I have to do real life, I know. Shout out to Rochelle for saying Mazarvlek. That's my puppy's name, but it is Marvel, and Danny Derby was the fastest to type Marvel. He's actually being a good dog for 5 minutes. He's like curled up in a ball. It's very cute. Two minutes to post for the Baltimore Crown. Can the King take him wire to wire again, or can he sit off? Or will he run last? Just thought I'd torture Rebecca Rose Hepburn a little bit with that one. Have you guys bet on this one, this huge field? $16,000 for 16 horses? I'm not calling it. You guys are definitely needing to bet more. Let's get to at least 50. Ready, go. Literally $100 has been bet since I turned off the mic. You guys are bad betters. All right, let's just call it. We all want to be done, I think. But I'm really disappointed. I thought it'd be like a much bigger betting race because it's a pretty evenly matched, awesome field. All right, they're in the gate For the 52nd Baltimore Crown, who will get a trophy tonight? Ooh, by the way, we added a Queen's Derby trophy and we didn't even post it anywhere. There's trophies everywhere. So many trophies. They're in the gate. And they're off. Land of Dance bobbled the break, but the rest were away well. It is Story Unchanged from the outside who broke fastest. The King from the middle rushes up, and then comes Courage and A Million Dreams. Giant and Thanos, then Colossal We Come. Merlin, Dancer, Carthay Circle. They're very tightly grouped out here. Lazy Dog tucks in behind that one. Land of Dance, Night Watch, Titan Redeemer, Guardian Bravo, and Combust into Fire is the early trailer. They come down past the wire the first time, and it is Story Unchanged, with the King and Courage battling him and A Million Dreams 4 wide. Then comes Giant, Thanos, Colossal We Come, Merlin, Dancer, Carthay Circle, 2 lengths back to Lazy Dog, then Land of Dance, Night Watch, Titan Redeemer, Guardian Bravo, and Combust into Fire is the trailer. It is Story Unchanged, and he leads by a length over A Million Dreams, who's up into second. Giant has threaded his way between horses to be third, then comes Courage. The King drops back fifth, and he's got 7 lengths on Thanos, who tracks the leaders, then Colossal We Come. Carthay Circle picks up a spot, Dancer and Merlin, then Lazy Dog, Night Watch, and Land of Dance. Titan Redeemer, Guardian Bravo, and Combust into Fire is the trailer. Only 5 furlongs left to run, and it is Story Unchanged who leads by a length and a half over A Million Dreams. Giant a length back third, Courage alongside, and the King is 3 wide now. Thanos is 6th, then Colossal We Come. Carthay Circle and Dancer, Merlin, Lazy Dog, Night Watch, Land of Dance, Titan Redeemer, Guardian Bravo, and Combust into Fire is the trailer. They've got 3 furlongs left to go. Story Unchanged has led every step of the way. A Million Dreams trying to get to that one. Giant is 3rd, Courage, and the King still 5th. Carthay Circle is making up ground. Thanos drops back. Merlin between them, then Lazy Dog. Colossal We Come. They're into the stretch, and it is Story Unchanged, and he's re-breaking now. Story Unchanged. He puts 2 lengths on the field now. Giant can't go with him. The King's trying to come on, but not doing enough. Carthay Circle on the outside. A Million Dreams still there. Then Merlin, Courage, Lazy Dog, and Thanos. Story Unchanged, though, and he was unthreatened today. Story Unchanged is going to roll down to the wire to win the Baltimore Crown. Carthay Circle rolled to be second, then A Million Dreams, Merlin, Giant, Courage, the King, Lazy Dog, Thanos, and Night Watch. The official winner is Story Unchanged. He's a 3-year-old dark bay colt by We Never Change out of Story of All Time by Man of Mystery. He's a homebred for Carl Smythe, and this is his 3rd win in 7 starts. Second was Carthay Circle, A Million Dreams 3rd. Derby winner, the King, ended up 7th of the 16. Will the King get revenge in the Long Island Classic, or will it be one of the others, like Merlin or Giant or, I don't know, the rest of them that all, I don't know. I said all the ones that wanted a mile and a half already, but I've forgotten them. Thanks for joining us tonight. The King Dragon is currently attacking all the other dragons. It's quite dramatic. And for once, the movie outlasted the race calls. That never happens. Good night.